Megan, just smile. Hi, pictures. It was funny. I got the Hi, Jesse.
This is the championship final Game 1 press conference featuring the Seminoles of Florida State, joined by head coach Lonnie Alameda, student athletes Jesse Warren, Sydney Sherrill, Anna Shellnut, and Megan King. Coach Alameda, Megan King has now thrown 33 and 1/3 consecutive innings without an earned run, and all 27 1/3 here at the College World Series. What's going on with Megan King?
Just kidding. We got one more game to go. I want to talk about this. Yeah. I think Megan King could probably answer that better than I can, but I will tell you that she has failed here, and she has failed in a lot of big moments, and that's this game. And you have to embrace the adversity and the ups and downs of it. And she made a comment to me a couple days ago, if they hit, they hit. If they don't, they don't. Like, she's so free and fluid because she's okay with the ups and downs. And that's growth, that's maturity, and that's why she has the ball for us and doing a great job.
Questions for Coach of the student athletes, please?
Yeah.
Marineg is behind the plate. Jesse Warren, that play in the 7th inning. Just take us through that because you kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah. 7th inning, down by 1. If we had a runner on first, I would assume that we'd bunt 2 to get her over to second, and they had a good hitter coming up, maybe drive her in. But so I had a feeling that they were gonna try to lay it up down, especially a slapper up to bat. I read her hands really well. She came around, and I just got a good read on the ball, and then just laid it out for the team. Saw the girl stealing. She wasn't near first, so I kind of took my time trying to get up and make a good throw to first so I could get the play.
Kurt Weiler, Tallahassee Democrat. Megan, Coach talked about it. You talked about it before you even came here about kind of wanting to redeem last time out here, and all that happened there. What's been the biggest difference this time? And, what's the feeling to kind of be on a tear like this against the best teams in the country?
I think it's kind of what she said before. My mentality going into this game is just I know that there's going to be runs hit, there's going to be hits hit off me. I know there's going to be runs scored. We're playing the best teams in college softball, and that's just kind of my mentality is just failure happens. It happens every single day in our game. But I know I've been here, and I know that my teammates have my back every play. Our defense have sold out for every single pitch this year, and I'm just really lucky to have them behind me. But yeah, that's kind of just been my mentality is just failure is going to happen. Roll with it, kind of stop the bleeding once the runners do come aboard. But yeah, definitely that's just kind of my mentality this World Series.
Eric Lopez, Fast Pitch News for Anna. Anna, just talk about that one run there to get a big run on the board and make the difference.
Let's see. Well, we had coming through the lineup the first few times off a really great pitcher who had a lot of great stuff. We kind of struggled at first, and after we'd gone through, everybody got together and we talked about what she had and how we were going to accomplish it. And I think the next few at-bats for everybody, we had great at-bats. We made her work. We made her throw a lot of balls, and I think everybody battling earlier in the game is what got me that one pitch that I could drive it out, was the person that had her 3-2 and was battling 5 at-bats before. They wore her down enough to where she would throw me one that I could get a hit for my team.
And, I looked it up. I think 4 or 6 home runs this season have come since the ACC tournament started. What is it about the big stage that kind of brings that out of you?
I think the whole thing about postseason is that it's just a fresh start. No matter what you do in the regular season, which was all a learning experience for me. I didn't have much playing time my freshman year, so most of my learning came from this regular season. And so I had my ups and downs all regular season. I had to learn to deal with that. And I think postseason was a fresh start for me to be able to lay it all out there for my team.
Lonnie, kind of on that note, after Anna hit the home run on Twitter, there's a lot of conversation about postseason Anna. What do you? What?
They said it.
Oops.
Again.
To you, what is postseason Anna? If you're allowed to say.
No, I didn't. It's just kind of been funny, and the reason why is because when Sid Broderick went down in Oregon last year and ripped her finger, Anna came in and she was in big moments, and it was postseason, and she hit some home runs in Oregon, and she went off in regionals, and it was just, wow, where's this kid been kind of thing mentality. And then we came into the season, like Anna says, and she's catching every day, and she's hitting every day, and she's dealing with the everyday at-bats, and it's not the freshness of just jumping into postseason and people don't know you, and they start to scout you. And so now we've nicknamed her Postseason Anna because she hit the home run in the ACC tournament. And so, sometimes it's kind of, you don't want that nickname. It's like, oh, she just shows up in postseason. But the reality is she's learned now how to endure a full season. And she's a tremendous catcher, and she has just grinded it out behind the plate. And catching is just so much on your legs and your mentality and your emotions. And for her to be able to come in and put together good at-bats for her team with everything she does behind the plate is just, hats off to her. We absolutely just try to hype her up every day for everything she does for us. But that's where the postseason Anna comes from. She is a great hitter in regular season too. And, we do rely on her a ton. But so that's where the nickname comes from, yes.
Down front.
Oh, then, okay, fine. Then also for Megan, Anna, and Sydney, you guys were all on the field when Jessie made her play when the ball goes in the air. Just what was your perspective on it? What's going through your mind when the ball looks like it might drop in, and then you see her flying across there?
Start with Megan.
I think it's just completely in our favor momentum-wise. I mean, just to lay out for that and just be able to be as good and as talented of a player as is Jessie and just read that is just absolutely incredible. Just from a pitching standpoint, I mean, that's just what we're talking about every single time. Just kind of the defense selling out for every play is incredible, especially with the leadoff base hit. Just to get that 2 outs just off the bat is just awesome. Super lucky to have her here.
Sydney.
Oh, I was so hyped when that happened. I already saw a picture. I just knew it then. I mean, that momentum really carried on to the next play, and man, that was good.
Hannah.
My first instinct when she hit the ball is like, I saw it had at least 3 feet under it. I was like, Jessie's got that. She's a freaking animal, and she makes those plays all the time. So I had complete faith in you, dog.
Thanks, guys.
I did.
Coach or the players, all postseason long, it's been cardiac kids, it's been elimination games. How do you keep the mentality that's brought you to success in those games with tomorrow not being one of those games?
Things we want to hear about. We just talked about it. We addressed it in the locker room. We just talked about it. We've been here before, and we're taking a huge learning lesson for what we had with Super Regionals and LSU last year. And, if we can go on Twitter right now, we can go on all the percentages, and we got caught up in that last year. 87.2% move on from Super Regionals after winning the first game and hosting it. And, it seems like everything's in your favor. But really, for this program right now, the most important thing is first pitch tomorrow and the next pitch after that and the next pitch after that. So we've addressed it. We've talked about it. Granted, we've never been here before, but we have a lesson that we learned, and it was heartbreaking. And so we want to make sure that we stay in the moment. And what I thought was amazing today is after Jessie made that play, that double play, and Sid, as a rookie, was so hyped, they brought it together because they know it's one pitch. We've been in that one pitch mentality, so we've got to bring it back together and still go after one pitch. And that's maturity, and I was so proud of him for doing that. And that's what I expect tomorrow, too, is to get after one pitch at a time.
Let's go back to John.
Oh, John McKelvey with the Norman Transcript. Coach Almeida, I know obviously Anna hits a home run and Megan pitches a complete game shutout, but is it almost impossible to think that Jessie wouldn't have her mark on this game as you saw it going throughout?
Mark on this game meaning what? Sorry.
Having that big play.
Yeah. I mean, this is weird to say, but that's Jessie. Jessie plays, everyone looks at her offensive production, and it is amazing, and her sixth sense is amazing, but she plays a third base like a shortstop, and she makes those plays all the time. She loves playing the game, and so, we've seen her do that a bunch of times, and, so it was, big time players make big time plays and big moments. And, it does hype us up, but it's also something that wasn't abnormal for what Jess does. And so, yes, I think every single player puts a mark on this game because right now we expect everyone to bring what they've brought all season long to what we're doing today and tomorrow.
IrishFLWarChant.com. Megan, did you also think she was going to make that play? I mean, when the ball went up in the air, were you thinking she's going to make that play?
I don't really know what I was thinking at that moment. All I was thinking is I might have to lay out for this ball, to be completely honest. Like, I was looking at the replay, and I was like, wow, I really look like I'm about to go lay out for that ball. But I'm just glad Jessie was there. I heard her, like, she was talking to me. Like, I always hear her in my hip pocket. But, yeah, I mean, I don't know what I was thinking. Just way to get after it, Jess. I'm glad that wasn't me.
And then also about your pitching performance, it seemed like Washington's players were trying to disrupt your rhythm a little bit. Did it have any effect, and how did you handle that?
I noticed that with the leadoff first pitch on, but coaches taught us just not to get carried up in those things. I mean, just making that a thing at the beginning of the game, so early as that is, like, could really have an effect on the rest of the game. So I knew they were doing that from pitch one, and I just kind of slowed the game down as well and just kind of took my time out there. I mean, every single umpire calls me for it. I'm a quick pitcher. That's how I've been since I was very young. But, I've just really just tried to stay in the moment and embrace it and just kind of slow myself down as much as I can. So if anything, it kind of helped me out to really slow the game down.
Back.
Mark Allister from Fast Pitch News. This is for Coach Alameda. I noticed the positioning of your outfield, and Washington hit a number of sharp balls, and you were positioned just beautifully. So how many at-bats do you watch of all the players before you kind of are figuring out your outfield strategy?
Mm-hmm. So this comes to all season long. We really talk about spray charts and different pitchers and different batters. So we've learned how to play for Megan King versus slappers, Megan King versus power hitters, righties, lefties. So they position themselves in the outfield, and they read that. And you'll see Morgan talking to the outfield and kind of what they're looking for, and 0-0 counts and 0-2 counts. And, we always address, hey, this is a kid that's not going to beat us. This is a power kid. This is a pull kid. We give that information to them, but they make their own adjustments. So I think we free up them to play the game, and versus us telling them what to do.
Brian Mueller, News 9. Sydney, what has this experience been like for you so far, playing just up the road from where you went to high school, and how special has it been for all of your family to be able to see you here?
It's been awesome. Looking up in the stands and seeing my family and seeing all my friends has been pretty amazing, and I just want to lay it out all on the field, and getting this opportunity has been incredible, and I wouldn't want to be anywhere else right now.
Time for one more. Maren?
This is kind of a new thing. You guys have been coming back after being down, and now you're a game up in this series. So how do you keep this momentum going?
Just one pitch at a time. It's literally, they're a great team. Washington's a great team. They've got scrappies, and they're going to come out and fight. And, who knows what the end of the result's going to be tomorrow. But if we stay focused on the one pitch and what we need to do, the result will take care of itself. And that's just something we have to stay in the moment in. And that's maturity, and that's these guys. They got to take control of that.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank
you all.
If you need additional time with the Seminoles, you can see a member of the Florida State